everyone, my name's Amanda Whitney, and today I'm going to give you a little history on the cheesecake, both in my life and in the world, and then I'm going to teach you how to make it for yourselves at home. The cheesecake I'm going to teach you how to make today is the chocolate marble cheesecake. Now before I teach you how to make the chocolate marble cheesecake, I'm going to give you a little fun fact. The first cheesecake may have been created on the Greek island of Samos. So the cheesecake isn't from New York? Yeah, I thought the cheesecake was from the US, that it originated here and everything. But this week when I did some research, I found out otherwise. It actually originated in Greece. The cheesecake has also played a vital role in my life, particularly my childhood with my grandma. When I was little, she would make me everything. She would bake me cookies, cake. She even made me candy and ice cream sometimes. But her favorite thing to bake me was the chocolate marble cheesecake. She would bake it for me, have me help her bake it, and eventually it just became a little tradition of ours. So now I'd like to share it with y'all. And now that I've told you a little history about the cheesecake, both in my life and the world, I'm going to teach you how to make it for yourselves. When I teach you how to bake the chocolate marble cheesecake, I'm going to tell you everything you need, what you're going to need to do to prepare, what you're going to need to do when you bake, and finally what you're going to need to do when you finish, which by the way is a very crucial part. Now what you're going to need is one Keebler Ready crust, and I love the Keebler Ready crust. You can actually get any brand you like, but I love the chocolate taste of the Keebler crust. One package of softened cream cheese, it makes it easier to stir. A can of sweetened condensed milk, an egg, vanilla extract, and one melted square of semi-sweet chocolate. Now, when I say square, I mean 4 of the little squares, so 1 full ounce of semi-sweet chocolate melted. You're also going to need some bakeware when you bake. You're going to need a small mixer bowl, a whisk, and now if any of you have an electric whisk, it does wonders, but I only have a regular whisk, so that's what I use when I bake. A spoon, a butter knife, a silicone spatula, and measuring cups. Now before you get to baking anything, what I always like to do is get out my ingredients and my bakeware. Now if you don't get out all of that before you bake anything, you're going to miss something. I swear, I always do it every time. I'll miss an egg, I'll miss the cream cheese, and then I'll have to go to H-E-B and buy some and put my preparation on hold. So just make sure everything is out and prepared and ready to go before you bake anything. And then I always preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit and begin baking my mixture, or mixing my mixture together before baking it. Now, when I mix the ingredients together, I first like to beat the cream cheese until it is fluffy. If I mix in the other ingredients first and then mix in the cream cheese, it just never tends to work out right. So I always like to do the cream cheese first. Then I gradually mix in the condensed milk until it's smooth and nice, because that's going to be the consistency for my cheesecake. And then I'm going to add the egg and the vanilla extract, and I'm going to mix it together and it's nice and smooth. And I'm not going to use all the mixture in my cheesecake. I'm going to reserve 1/4 of a cup of it because that's what's going to make my chocolate swirl in the end. When I reserve that 1/4 cup of the mixture, I'm going to add in my melted chocolate, and I'm going to mix it together until it's all mixed in and nice. And then I'm going to put blobs of the chocolate mixture into my cheesecake mixture. And I'm going to put big blobs because I want to make really nice, pretty swirls in my cheesecake. So after I have the blobs, I'm going to get my knife and just swirl my knife around the cheesecake until I get it all nice and marbly. And then when it's just the way I want it, I'll put it in my oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And now some of your ovens heat hotter than other people's ovens, so just keep an eye out on your pie whenever it gets close to being done. When you're finished, always let it cool before you cut it because it stays a little bit gooey until it's cooled down, until it calms down and flattens a little. So just cool it. And what I like to do is refrigerate it in the refrigerator. But if you like yours room temperature, that's fine as well. And when you're done and ready to eat, you can always add sides if you're feeling festive. Cool Whip, ice cream, chocolate fudge sauce, and fruit have always been my favorites. Now that I've told y'all a short history on the cheesecake and how to bake a chocolate swirl cheesecake, I'm going to give y'all a little quote from my favorite baker in the whole wide world, Buddy Valastro. And he said, no matter what the recipe, any baker can do wonders in the kitchen with some good ingredients and an upbeat attitude. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.